everyone, this is Tish Aitken, and I'm here to talk about this week's astrological lineup. We have the moon in Pisces right now, and so there is a lot of water in the sky. You know, Neptune rules the moon in Pisces and rules the ocean, and it's very sensitive and creative, and Neptune rules dreams and imagination, but it is, you know, keen sensitivity. And with Mercury retrograde in Scorpio, which I've been talking a lot about, and I think many of us have felt on a very deep internal level, it's about reflection, and it's about turning inward. And I think that you know, there are some good things to help us now with this story we've all been working with for a few weeks, really, because since October 12th, Mercury entered its shadow, which is the degree it's going to station direct on November 20th. And with Mercury in Scorpio, it uncovers secrets. It's very much about dealing with unhealed wounds, and I've talked about that at length. But I also want to discuss the fact that Jupiter has now cleared its shadow, and that means that when it stationed retrograde on April 10th, it was at 24 degrees and 21 minutes of Sagittarius, which is the sign it rules. It's in its domicile there. And now, as of November 6th, Jupiter has now cleared its shadow, and it's going to be in its rulership until December 3rd, when it enters Capricorn and expands the Capricorn tail that we're all going to be dealing with very much in the collective, starting at the very beginning of 2020. So with that said, we're really trying to find hope and optimism while dealing perhaps with painful lessons or wounds that Mercury retrograde in Scorpio is, you know, emphasizing or reawakening or reminding you of, that maybe you've neglected or, you know, brushed under the rug, whatever it might be. And, you know, with Jupiter in its home sign, it does open up doors. It does, you know, help to expand. And right now, you know, Neptune energy is strong, and, you know, in ancient astrology, Jupiter ruled the sign of Pisces, and in modern astrology, Neptune rules Pisces. But they both deal with faith, and they both deal with, you know, with magnetizing and manifesting in different ways. You know, Jupiter rules the vision, and Neptune rules the dream. And so the moon is going to, you know, go void of course at 8:13 p.m. tonight with a square to Jupiter in Sag. And there can be an inclination to want to escape with that energy because Pisces is so incredibly emotional. And Sagittarius, you know, Jupiter energy can be a little bit over the top, and it can be, you know, definitely wanting to have a good time, but overdo it. So it could overdo the emotions. And I think the good way to take that is to try to use your imagination with the moon in Pisces. Use your, you know, meditate, manifest, visualize, create, do something creative. Try to do something to help others, because Pisces is about, you know, being empathetic to other people. And tomorrow we're going to have some very lovely aspects, because the sun in Scorpio is going to trine Neptune. And so again, we have more of that Neptunian energy, and you want to try to keep away from the escapist tendencies of it, but tap into the dream, which is very strong. And then the sun forms a sextile to Saturn, and that helps to structure and give some ego and identity in this whole process. And then this Saturn and Neptune form their third and final sextile, which is structuring the dream. Saturn is in its home sign of Capricorn, and Neptune again in its home sign of Pisces. And this is the third and final time this year. And so making the most of this. So you may again certainly feel very reflective. We're not done with the Mercury retrograde story, and Neptune, even though it's making a very good aspect, does still imbue all that emotional energy. But try to figure out what you want to manifest. Pay attention to your dreams. They're going to be very prevalent this weekend. And try to tap into the optimism of Jupiter, because we do not have it very much longer. We have it up until December 3rd, and then it's going to it's going to enter Capricorn and expand that whole story of accountability and karma and choices and taking action. And you won't have time to escape and to dream or reflect. You're really going to have to figure out what you want to accomplish in 2020. It's a big, big time for all of us. And right now with Mercury retrograde in Scorpio, we're getting a lot of insights into things that may have been hidden. A lot of secrets are getting revealed and information both on the global and individual level. And I think just paying attention to what comes up for you. Some of your emotions may be subjective. They most likely are, but some of them with Mercury and Scorpio is getting to the raw, naked truth of what is and is not working, and being really honest with yourself about that. And, you know, that can be very painful, but it's really also about Scorpio is an incredibly strong sign. So it may be emotional, but it also kicks ass. And so, you know, if you have to do that now and you have to, you know, get it together, you will be able to if you're honest with yourself. And we're getting ready for a full moon in Taurus on November 12th, and that's going to be at 8:48 a.m. At 20 degrees of Taurus. And it's actually quite a powerful chart. It's got Taurus, the moon is exalted in Taurus, and it's got Sagittarius rising, and Jupiter is in its home sign in the first house of new beginnings. So again, opening up doors and giving expansion and opportunity if you take advantage of it. Bringing fruition of things you have been trying to eliminate or that you've been trying to build this year. And that could be, you know, in Taurus, it's bringing physical form. It's an earth sign ruled by Venus, what you've been trying to cultivate and grow in your life. And with Jupiter being the ruler in its home sign, very much about, again, having hope in difficult choices, but having hope. And Venus is in Sagittarius, just a degree from the ascendant, so tapping into the creativity and the fun of it, you know, not losing sight of the fact that there are some good aspects. It's not all heavy. I mean, it is definitely a big time. You know, we can't neglect that fact. And the moon falls in the 5th house, which is about creativity and romance and fun and channeling that energy. And the moon trines Pluto in Capricorn. So that's a very empowering aspect. And Neptune trines the sun in Scorpio. So that's a very much of one, again, of manifesting the dream. So a lot is at play. We're getting ready for, you know, eclipse season is coming up soon. That's going to begin right around December 26th. So we're going to start to feel that in early December. Jupiter is changing signs on December 3rd. And we're getting ready for the Capricorn story, which will be discussed ad nauseum. So I wish you luck and have a great weekend. Thank you. Take care.